laptop per student, which was done for a category and number of teachers, is also there is a dedicated opportunity for laptop for students at the free senior high school level. I've asked them to elevate the distribution to ensure that every student deserving of it has it, because the curriculum is inbuilt in it. We've zero-rated it and it's ongoing across the country. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Yes, Honorable.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I believe that every ministry implements policies and interventions subject to budgetary allocation made available to it. Within those budgetary constraints, we'll prioritize investment in digital education. I've said that we have to revise curriculum. I'm sure the young learners here would have loved to have tablets so that they themselves can begin to use it and learn with it. As a country, we need to invest more on digital education infrastructure. There are many schools in Ghana which are not even connected to electricity, let alone connected to the internet. How are you going to have access? But technology have improved, and there's now what we call offline grades of some of these tablets. They don't need electricity connectivity. They may be able to do it. We have just signed a memorandum of understanding with Google, which was narrowed to language, mother tongue language. And I asked Google to expand it to the 12 official languages of Ghana. And they committed that they will do that. They are working very closely with the University of Ghana and the University of Science and Technology in expanding investment on AI-related technology to facilitate digital learning. So, Mr. Speaker, we'll do our best within the constraints of budget. I thank you.
Thank you very much.
Ghanaian students go to school with a weapon or a knife. Mr. Speaker, that is un-Ghanaian. That is not our training, and that cannot be the training we want these young people to be exposed to. But agreeable that there is growing indiscipline in our school. Mr. Speaker, I share this interesting example. I was taking a walk in Tamale behind the wall of Vitim Secondary School, just taking a walk to my home. I saw a student scale the wall and he fell in front of me by the wall. He didn't need to do that. But many of the schools don't even have the walls. Like, my attention was drawn to Boku, as I said, in the conflict area, we have to improve the walling of the schools. You had people attack students because they had easy access to it. But that also, you need financial resources to be able to execute that.
Well, yes. Bye-bye. Sit down. So, honorable members, as we did yesterday, this time we are not going to wait for anybody. So the owner of the questions, if they are not here, any member from the caucus, or even any member at all, can just read the question on his or her behalf, and the minister will answer. We are not going to wait for anybody again. So, Honorable Minister, may you take your appropriate seat. So we'll begin with question 223. Question 223. And the question stands in the name of a member from Wa West, Honorable Superintendent Retired Peter Tubu. So, Professor, are you do that on his behalf?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have the authority of honorable member to ask his question. I rise to ask. I want to seek your leave, Mr. Speaker.
Oh,
to do
go
so.
ahead. I've given the omnibus permission, so you can.
I rise to ask the Minister for Education what plans the ministry has to adopt and support the Wichao TVET School, which is the only technical and vocational education and training institute in the Wa West District. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Respectfully, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, let me thank you for the opportunity to respond to the question posed by the Honorable Peter Lanchini Tobu. The Wichao TVET School is in the Wichao community in the Wild West district of the Upper West region. The establishment of the Wichao Community Technical and Vocational Institute was initiated and spearheaded by the paramount chief, and we should commend him for that, and the good people of Wichao in 2019. Currently, the school has a student enrollment of 147 with a staff strength of 13, comprising 11 teaching staff and 2 non-teaching staff. The school currently has the following facilities: a 6-unit classroom block funded by the Northern Development Authority, a 60-bed capacity dormitory block funded by the District Assembly, and a borehole funded by the Wichao Community Hippo Sanctuary. Mr. Speaker, as the only TVET institute within the district, the Wichao TVET School was formally absorbed in March 2026 into the public education system, and has accordingly been included in the 2026-2027 school register. The school is currently running the following programs: electrical engineering, wood technology, garment technology, and business information technology. The school would be rehabilitated under the Star J project. Mr. Speaker, I'm happy to announce that earlier when I appeared before this House, I indicated that together with the Ministry of Finance, we're negotiating with the World Bank for $300 million to support the construction of new schools, senior high school, and rehabilitation of senior high school, and support for technical and vocational educational institutions across the country. Mr. Speaker, skills training and development holds key if Ghana is to succeed to address growing unemployment and underemployment, and we should be investing more in TVET education. Accordingly, the Wichao School will benefit from the World Bank support under the Star J program. I'm currently doing the shortlist, and together with the Minister of Finance, we'll do a common cabinet memo to the President and Cabinet, and subsequently to Parliament, and many institutions across the country will benefit from that intervention. Mr. Speaker, we're also working to establish a TVET fund for the country. I have discussed it with the President. He thinks that we can look at 10% get fund allocation annually, and probably I was looking into earmarking some mineral revenue, but that I've been advised by the Minister for Finance that I should give him some time to think through what additional financing he can add to it. But the principle that under the John Mahama administration, Ghana will get its first ever TVET fund will happen. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Yes, Prof, any supplementary question?
I have no complementary question except to thank the Minister for the assurance.
Completed. The 18-unit classroom block at St. Augustine Senior High School, Bogoso, the boys' dormitory at Honey Valley Senior High School, the boys' dormitory at Prestia Senior High School, Senior Technical School. Thank you.
Respectfully, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, let me thank you for the opportunity to respond to the question of Honorable Robert Wisdom Kujo. The 18-unit classroom block at St. Augustine Senior High School was awarded in August 2020 to Messrs. Donajos Company Limited at a contract sum of 2,427,893 Ghana cedis. The project is being supervised by Architectural Engineering Services Limited. Payments made so far is around 400,000 of the 2.4 million, and the project remains uncompleted. The Honey Valley Senior High School is located in the Western region, was established in 1975. The school has a population of 1,695 people, made up of 502 male and 1,193 female, with a total staff strength of 114, comprising 90 teaching and 24 non-teaching staff. The construction of boys' dormitory at the Honey Valley Senior High School was awarded far back, Mr. Speaker, November 2016 to Messrs. Boyson Construction West Limited at a contract sum of 997,446,053 Ghana cedis. The project is being supervised by Architectural Engineering Services Limited. Payment made so far 528,769 Ghana cedis. The project is at the roofing stage. Mr. Speaker, in respect of the prestigious Senior High Technical School, also located in the Western Region, the school was established in 1991, a day school and a boarding with a student population of 1,735 people. Let me take it where, Mr. Speaker. It's a day boarding. It's a boarding school, Mr. Speaker, with a student population of 1,735 people. Male 988, female 747. The school has a staff strength of 91 teaching staff and 14 non-teaching staff. The construction of the single-story dormitory and the 6-unit classroom block was awarded in August 2019 to Measures Masodiac Services Limited at a contract sum of 1,849,592.80 Ghana cedis. The project is being supervised by Tedal Real Property Services Limited. Payment made so far 765,810. The dormitory is at the substructure level and the 6th classroom unit at the completion stage. Mr. Speaker, most of the projects listed have stalled and would need raised revision of the outstanding works. The ministry through GETFA has asked all consultants supervising the implementation of these projects to submit updated costs to completion estimates for these outstanding works. And Mr. Speaker, an observation that we are very concerned about, if you awarded a contract in 2016, 10 years on, 2026, the contract is uncompleted, you necessarily should expect that the cost variations is likely to rise higher. And that has implications for revision of contract. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, is of concern to us. Mr. Speaker, I know that currently the GETFA allocates 42% of its total budget revenue to support school feeding under the free senior high school program. So 42% of it, what will be left for infrastructure, what will be left for tertiary education, and what will be left for basic education. That's why I have advised that we should realign the financing of GETFund to focus more on basic foundational learning, where literacy and numeracy are important for the future learning success of our people. So, Mr. Speaker, this will be our response to the question. Thank you. So that we can manage some of these legitimate, genuine demands of members. I thank you.
So we
discipline in our
both Belware, yes.
The minister mentioned the ministry's engagement with the key stakeholders. I would like to know from the minister that if there are timelines as far as this problem is concerned, or this engagement is concerned.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I don't have the specific legislation here, but Parliament assisted us to pass a new legislation for the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. Knowing that this problem existed, Parliament helped us cure it by defining who represents the worker union, both senior staff and junior staff. And into the future, that is the model we would adopt. The difficulty is that once it is in the law, you have to show fidelity and respect to the provisions of the law. They have not been happy with me at all as minister, and they have protested very strongly, and they don't want exclusion. For us, it deepens and betters the government of those universities. For our administration, university councils are significant vehicles for the effective running of those institutions of higher learning. We don't interfere at the ministerial level what happens at the councils of the universities, save they are subject to regulatory oversight by the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. There's no further supplementary
Thank
question.
you, my sister.
I'm grateful to the minister.
Thank you, my sister. So let's turn to question 423. Question 423. a member from Himain Lower Dentura, Honorable Lawrence Agyensam.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Education when the ministry plans to supply No, he's giving omnibus.
Honorable members, earlier on, when we started, I gave that omnibus bellway, yes. So, Honorable, you may go on.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. The Chief Whip is heckling a first timer. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Education when the ministry plans to supply the following schools with student desks, beds, tables, and chairs. 1. Himain Secondary Technical School. And 2. Jukwa
schools across the country, which is affecting teaching and learning, and then the furniture deficit in our basic secondary schools. To facilitate this, Mr. Speaker, the GET Fund currently is undertaking some procurement of furniture, and when that is done, it will be distributed across schools in the country. There is adequate provision in the GET Fund formula for furniture. They've just started the procurement process. I'm sure a warrant for commencement certificate is with the Honorable Minister for Finance, and when that is done, some furniture was procured for 2025, Honorable, and some have been distributed across schools in the country.
Well. Honorable Member, are you having any supplementary question?
Yes, please.
Okay, let's
Mr.
hear
Speaker,
you.
I'm happy that the Minister has said that this is a nationwide issue. Can he give us some timelines on this? But it's very, very important.
Minister, can you give timelines?
Mr. Speaker, I only can assure my honorable colleague that Himain Secondary Technical School and Jukwa Secondary Technical School, I've taken note of them, and they will be prioritized when the furniture arrive. And I'll relate to him directly to make sure that he relates to the appropriate authority for the schools to benefit from the furniture. But, Mr. Speaker, I'm assuring honorable members that government through GET Fund is procuring adequate furniture for distribution this year. I don't control procurement processes. Subject to its completion, when they supply them, we'll engage with members and get them distributed. Many schools across the country are struggling. I've promised the Honorable Ahmed that I'll be visiting a school completed in the Wija Bawe area. Before you do the visit, the furniture must be available so that I can declare it open and functional. And that we will do if the procurement processes are completed. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Minister, pursuant to your answer, I mean, you acknowledge that this is a nationwide issue. I mean, that's one of my headache. Schools in my constituency, they are all on me. So if you are prioritizing others, then the priority should be extended to the good people of Omina. Very well. Yes, Honorable.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I would like to also inform the Minister that whilst he's prioritizing the constituencies, you should remember New Dublin, since we have other issues too. Thank you.
Thank you. So let's now move to Kwadaso. Professor Kinsenyako, you may now take your own question. On question 486.
The numbers at 49,000 so that we can pick the best 7,000 of the over 40,000. But we will take note of the concerns of deprived districts across the country, and we'll do the redistribution accordingly.
Yes. Let me give it to my teacher, my senior. So you sit down.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I've heard the answers from the minister. At some point, I had an impression that we don't have adequate teachers, that we are in short of teachers. But what he has said so far suggests that the problem is financial, and that there are a lot of teachers that have applied, but the country and our budget is not able to assist or admit all of them. I want to find out from the minister, having realized this problem, what are the steps that as a country we would adopt to clear these qualified teachers who cannot be assimilated into the system? Thank you.
Very well, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, it's largely a function of the management of the compensation budget of the Ministry of Finance and the government of Ghana. GES remains the largest employer in Ghana. We have over 360,000 teachers across the country. So any increase in the number is much against our contribution to the overall compensation budget of government. Our attitude as a country has been to train teachers. So you had UCC, University of Education, Winneba, and the teacher training colleges across the country. Mr. Speaker, for 2023, the batch that completed teacher education training were not recruited. 2024 were not recruited. 2025 not recruited. So you have a huge backlog of trained teachers who are not being engaged because of its implications on the compensation budget. So currently, even the 7,000 that we are discussing, the difficulty is what number of the 2023 batch are you taking? And what number of the 2024 batch are you taking? I'm sure my colleague, the Honorable Fojo, who previously was at the Ministry of Education, went through the same stress I'm going through. You can only proceed when you have financial clearance from the Ministry of Finance to engage and recruit. And as I have announced, a new batch of 7,000 will begin work from the 1st of July. Only yesterday, I engaged the Director General of the GES together with the managers of the portal, the system, to see how we get this process going. Every year you have over 5,000 teachers produced in Ghana, but you don't have the clearance to be able to engage them. But I admit that there is acute shortage of teachers in the country. As I have indicated, our national need and requirement will be to recruit for about 50,000 teachers. I only have clearance for 7,000 and for about 3,000 for the tertiary education space. That we are considering now.
To those communities, because there are people who school there, people who live there, and they want to go back to their people to help them. Can we consider such communities? Thank you very much.
Minister, isn't this a practical solution?
Mr. Speaker, it's the legislations we pass. You pass a legislation which gave the mandate to the GES, which is centralized. You have a Director General of GES sitting in Accra at the headquarters with regional directors across the country. For instance, Free Senior High School. Coordinators were appointed for Free Senior High School. I ordinarily would have thought that this could be provided by regional directors and district directors of education instead of a new bureaucracy. But maybe because it was a major policy decision, government decided to create a secretariat for the free senior high school. But for all intents and purposes, that is the mandate of the Director General of the GES and regional and district directors. But we are reviewing it, and at the appropriate time, I'll come and make a major policy announcement to this August House. Mr. Speaker, I've heard the concern of our honorable colleague. As I said, there is new thinking that with an adoption of a new decentralization policy, we should get education and health decentralized so that recruitment is done at the district level, discipline at the district level, but it will be a function of whether they have money to be able to do that. And as I shared with you, the thinking of the president is that adjust common fund to 7%, dedicate 1% to health, the other 1% to education, and ask them to be devolved and decentralized at that area. For us, why will a teacher do some wrong in Nandom and you want to bring him to Accra to subject him to disciplinary proceedings at the GES headquarters? We should get that done at the district level. So maybe we'll consider a possible revision of the GES Act, Mr. Speaker, to respond to these contemporary needs.
Thank you very much. Yes, Honorable.
2025 budget, and that was here in Parliament. And per the data I have from GES alone, not coming to Ghana TV service, just GES alone, they're in need of about 57,590 staff, about 10,050 non-teaching, the rest are teaching. So I would like to ask the minister, has the government abandoned his policy or his promise to the Ghanaian people to conduct a direct recruitment to the teaching service right from the colleges of education? Has that promise to teachers and graduates in this country, automatic posting to GES and TVS service, has it been abandoned by the government? And two, what happened to the 50,000 and 10,000 that was promised in 2025 budget? And lastly, since January 2025, how many teachers have been employed?
The country has evolved, and the country has undertaken some far-reaching reforms that will benefit education in the foreseeable future. Mr. Speaker, for instance, what my colleague Chair has said, you now have the Commission for Technical and Vocational Education, you now have the GES, and therefore when we are recruiting, we allocate both for TVET and for GES. But there is a difference between need and what I have budgetary approval for. My need is between 50 to 90,000 teachers, but I have clearance for 7,000, and that's what I'm making do with. Thank you.
Honorable members, we spend.
That is a question. And to also agree with the minister, and to agree with the minister that particularly when it comes to teachers.
You asked a fantastic question. Allow somebody else to also ask this question. Yes.
And particularly when the minister makes a point about the challenges, peculiar challenges in the mining areas, it is one area we need to have a conversation on. And I want to support what the minister said regarding the challenges in the mining areas. These are areas where the minimum wage for a week is about 4,000 cedis. And then you're sending teachers there whose salaries across the country is not even able to meet a week's earning, the average earning in such areas. So we need to have a more comprehensive, it's not a political discussion, we need to have a more comprehensive discussion on that. But my question on the policy departure, thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, there is no policy departure. What I do know is that in 2023, there was no automatic placement. 2024, there was no automatic placement. I thank you.